They
I
paid
mean,
him up
they're
out of
too
there.
big. They're too big to fail. But
Yeah.
it's one of those things of I don't know. It's like you said, when the ratings go down enough and those TV contracts come up, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
And it's
Which the beat that to make the beat so the listeners can understand this. Um, they're going to get more money because the fact they generate money. And like I said, when you're making money like that, you really don't give a shit because it like this. They know that they're grandfathered in. What I mean by grandfathered in is they're part of a person's weekly routine. And because we are creatures of habit, we're going to watch WWE slightly in some way, shape, form, or fashion. And they know this. So that's why Vince's mind feels that the way he does wrestling works because y'all gonna watch it anyway. You know, you
yeah. I mean, well, you're going to chase away the actual wrestling fans that know, like the wrestler Jordan Grace, who's married to Jonathan Grisham. I saw that she
yes,
tweeted out because people are already starting the Mickey James debate of basically like, well, can't you just be happy or can't you just enjoy the moment? And it's like, look, I was relieved that they didn't just bury Mickey James, and it's
yeah,
kind of and it's to be expected because they probably put it in the contract that they couldn't. But here's the problem: the WWE has zero goodwill with the fans because they fuck the fans and they deliberately go out of their way to not give the fans what they want. Like again, Liv Morgan getting eliminated. I don't follow the WWE product that closely anymore, so it was informed to me that Liv Morgan is pretty popular right now, and they did
yeah.
not want
She
her.
actually is.
And so, yeah, it's not about not enjoying the moment. It's about look, they have not generated enough goodwill. Like when I saw her come out, Mickey James, or I see, I'm suspicious because they deliberately. I feel like at times just do shit to let the fans know that like, well, we could do whatever we want. It's not a matter of being miserable or whatever. It's like she look, Jordan Grace is a up and coming talent, and she's with Impact, and when right now I think she's kind of reprioritizing her life. But if she decides to give wrestling another full time run, AEW or WWE would sign her, and she'd be a star because she is a star. But the WWE would fuck her up in about 3 weeks, and
Yeah,
she would be stuck there making a very nice paycheck. But like she'd be about as relevant as a pet rock by the time she left the WWE, and that's because that's what WWE does. Look at Shinsuke, the most original, cutting edge guy.
oh my God, they just butchered that dude.
And
They
and and
butchered.
when he came out with the IC title, I'm like, I remember, and I was like, I had an old man moment. I remember when the IC title was more revered than the world title. Now
Yeah, actually,
it's like now who gives a fuck about the Continental title? And Shinsuke again, uh, it's kind of well known that he has, he's taking that check and he's probably gonna take the check for as long as he can, and then he'll have that one last run in Japan, and that'll be it.
yeah,
But they that's what they do. They piss off the fans on purpose, and then they take like Ricochet. It's like Ricochet lost all his like luster once getting signed to the WWE, and
yeah.
a lot of wrestlers kind of like, oh, I remember when he was the talk of the wrestling. I couldn't turn on my Twitter or the internet without hearing about this guy, and then he signs to WWE, and it's like,
And get
well,
married.
oh,
Yeah,
yeah, well, okay, so he's gonna be able to send this kid to college and buy a house. That's okay, but uh, you know, I understand what she's trying to say about people being, trolls on Twitter, but it's like WWE deserves every ounce of shit they get. They do every negative bit of press, every criticism they get, they earn it, and they should, I mean, you can tell to them they don't give a shit. They're not going to do fuck all what the fans want, but it took 7 years to get a heel Roman.
yeah.
7 years.
Actually, now speaking about Roman, we have the WWE Championship match. Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley, and this is a match that I actually wanted to see. I wanted to see how this was going to go, and it went like I thought it would.
Yeah, not, yeah.
Actually, it's it was physical, a lot of slamming. Um, Lashley trying to get the hurt locker, and everything. And now my prediction was I thought that it was gonna be Roman that lose the belt and Lashley that keeps it. Excuse me, Lesnar. But um, once again, what we call well, I agree with this finish because of the fact that of Roman interfering in the match and costing Lesnar. And then the funny part, the great, wonderful Paul
No,
Heyman,
yeah.
he just looked away and just passed him the belt.
Yeah, no, Paul, if they gave Oscars to wrestlers, Paul would get one. And again, it's not that I'm some kind of wrestling genius, but I actually, when after the Roman match, I called the ending of the, because it's like, okay, they're gonna do this because Paul's gonna double cross, Brock. Roman's gonna interfere, cost him the belt, so that way they can have the match at WrestleMania and get back on track. Another little piece of credit to the WWE. This little hiccup that they had with the Roman COVID thing. This little kind of like, oh, he gets the title and blah blah blah, was actually nicely done because now Bobby is the champ again and he could wrestle somebody at WrestleMania, and Brock and Roman are back on track, and you had a nice little interesting thing and every whatnot. It was more well done than the Cody Sammy Guevara thing, where Cody was going to be gone for a week, so they immediately did an interim title and then immediately went into a ladder match with both belts on a pole thing, and it was like, okay, you were going to be gone for 2 weeks. The title is supposed to be defended at least within 90 days. You were gone for like 10 days. You had to have an interim champion for that 1 week. So the WWE handled that little hiccup better than AEW did. But
Yeah.
the ending, I mean, I kind of called it, but it was an easy thing to call because it was just so, obvious. And it makes more sense for Paul to be with Roman because Roman is full time. And
Yeah.
they work so well together. I mean,
It was
Roman.
just it was great because I was like, when I saw the interference, I said, yeah. When he looks over at Paul, now if he didn't go over to Paul in any way, then I would say, okay, then well, Paul gonna stay with Lesnar. But as soon as I saw Roman move, look dead at Paul,
He did a little
I said,
lip quiver.
oh
He did the little lip chin quiver and then turned
yeah.
away. And
He
and
turned
again,
away,
did it
gave him the
perfectly.
belt.
Paul Heyman is undefeated and untouchable. And as good as heel Roman is, it's not the same without Paul.
It wouldn't have went over the same.
They're just too good
Actually,
together.
yeah, because Paul gives him that legitimacy as a heel.
Yeah, and he's the perfect. And again, he doesn't interfere. He doesn't help cheat.
Mhm.
He just kind of is there, and he
It,
has the charisma, and he adds. It's just it's yeah. It's just you know what it is. It's the modern day Nick Bockwinkel, Bobby Heenan from the AWA.
yes, 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 yes. Exact dynamic because it's because Nick Bockwinkel could talk.
Yeah,
He had a banging promo, very intelligent.
a much. He was like
And,
a subtle Ric Flair.
yeah, I can't even compare to Rick. It's
Well, as far as the suits and
it's
the money and everything.
it's when I look at him, I think if Nature Boy Buddy Rogers came in that time frame.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I liken him to more of Nature Boy Buddy Rogers than that of Rick. Like with Rick, it was to me. Let me see. To me, Rick was on a different level because it was just he was a shit talker, and he also was a bragger in every which way. It was like Rick was that dude that I can't stand that motherfucker, but damn, I like to hang with him. You know
Oh
what I'm
yeah, yeah.
saying? Period. While Nick Bockwinkel, he was more that dude like he's a smug asshole.
Yeah, yeah.
You
And he
feel
used the
you
big
feel
words.
Yeah, it's like it be like,